Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone doing? Hope we're all good. I'm doing fine. I'm tired, but apart from that, I'm fine. How was everyone's weekends? How was everyone's start to the week? I hope it's all good. I'm going to turn the music down a bit more. I keep saying that every time, but I will. There we go. Keep it like that. So, hope everyone's doing good. Oh, I need to shave. Yeah, or at least trim, rather. It's getting a bit all tangled. Yeah, today... Today we're going to do something a bit different. I am a little bit out of it today. Today we're going to do something, say a little bit different. Still continue on with the game. Last we left off, we started making the first card set, making all the ability, made one ability. Essentially finished it off stream. There was a little issue at the there was a little issue at the end of the stream where the player wasn't working, and I've sort of forgotten what the issue was, but I fixed it. The player's working now. I commented some stuff out and had to just rehook some things up again. But that's working now. That ability is working now, and I was working on some other quality of life changes off stream. But today we're not going to continue with the abilities. We're going to do something a little bit different. Something that's going to need some planning. And we're going to start that planning on stream. And that is the scene management, the level loading and things like that. And maybe some other quality of life changes if we come across them. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit more of a chill one, free form. We won't go straight into Unity and coding. We were going to plan on the whiteboard for a bit, just have a bit of a chat. But more of a relaxed one, less working today. But hope everyone's good. Yeah. So let's. What we should do is let's open the. We're opening the game design document. I'll show you that now. There we are. So we saw this last time. Added a new a task to do on it, which is scene loading. I already sort of started that. That sort of goes into Mission Manager. I might actually do a bit of Mission Manager as well. Hell, I might even do Mission Manager before scene loading, like today. It's a bit more freeform what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna sort of feel things out a bit. So we may have to reorder those, but we'll see where we go. So I added that in. This is still in progress. I'll probably still do a lot of this off stream, some on stream, obviously. So we'll see where we get with that. So, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. If anyone has any questions, obviously, let me know. And I think we should begin. Right. Actually, we should go back to the other camera view then. I should go back to here, like this, and we'll bring the whiteboard up. The whiteboard is empty. Right now. So we're gonna plan out the scene loading and what we need to load scenes, specifically mission loading and things like that, and how it's going to work. There we go. Turn me sit down a bit. Let's turn it up. Right, yeah. In fact, actually, I say let's bring the whiteboard on. Let's not bring the whiteboard on. Let's go into Unity and then let me show you sort of what's happening with the scene loading stuff now. So we can all get a better idea of what's happening with it. So, I said we're not going to go into Unity, but here we are. So, scene loading. What's happening right now is if we go into Level Manager, which is essentially our scene managing. And also let's just go into main menu manager for now. So right now it's just sort of hard-coded that when we load a save or when we click play and then we create a new game or continue a game, those are our options. When a button is clicked, it calls, if I go back in here, it calls load selected level, where we pass in the save slots, we get the ID, and then it, oh yeah, that does nothing right now. But then we go into the scene manager, which is called Level Manager. I might need to change that, actually. I forgot to do that. But essentially, we subscribe to this. Then it gets the save slot ID. We then go to load unload scenes, and in here we've hard coded the scene to unload. I say we hard coded. We made it a variable, but in the editor we've made it 1, and 1 is the menu scene. As you see here, we do have the loading scene, which is scene 0, but the loading scene is nothing right now. So we unload that scene, or unload async, and then we start another coroutine, because it doesn't like the 2 whiles. So we load the scene. To be fair, we don't even really need to unload the scene. We can probably just have load scene for now. But that is what it is, and then when leveling's done, then we start to initialize the player and all that stuff. So that's essentially kind of what I want to work on today. So it's less the level manager or scene manager. It's more loading and automatically instantiating all the things we need to. So technically, we are actually working a bit more with the mission manager. So that's, I think, more so what we're going to be working on today, and sort of figuring out all the things we need to load. So essentially, yeah, we're just using Unity's loading and unloading right now. We don't have a big enough collection of objects to warrant a loading bar right now. I'm just going to forget about it for now, gonna be honest with you. But yeah, in here, we're going to make it probably all better and call a bunch of different stuff that will help load the scene in a nicer fashion. One of those being, if we go into scenes and then we'll do starting area, the mission manager, and here it is. Why is type? What type? What do we need to type for? Oh yeah, because that's the buttons, the testing buttons. Okay, so we don't actually need that for the final thing. Maybe I should probably just create a different script that handles all that. In fact, yeah, let me do that right now, just so we can clear. Scripts. We'll just create a test, and we'll just copy things over. So essentially, there we go. Yeah, so essentially we're probably going to be working more on the mission manager and getting everything we need for that to work. So we don't, for instance, so when I'm testing with enemies, I don't have to reassign things as I'm testing. So essentially we can make things a lot quicker. because I realized what I was testing. I have to sort of reassign all the stuff to do with the enemies and then set them active and go from there. So let's just do this quickly. What are you complaining about? Yeah. There we go. Okay. And I will just attach that again to the mission manager. There we go. Let's just make that blunt. There we go. And then let's go to the buttons. Button tester dot take damage. Oh, that just draw. Okay, that goes into. Okay. Button tester dot save. There you go. Lovely. Now in mission manager, we can close you, and then we can go in here and we can delete all that. So we're starting from here, and we're starting with mission data. And mission data is something else we're going to have to expand upon and plan for. So, and that is an issue that I'm going to actually have a look at. I think it's on heal or something is never assigned to the enemy. But so this is mission data, and ideally what this is all going to contain is everything for all the data that we'll need for the mission, for the player to go on a mission, or to load a level, and things like that. So it's going to contain the name, spawn location. It's going to contain all the mission objects, which is the extra 3D. It's going to contain a list of enemies, or the enemies that are going to be able to be spawned, and all those types of things. So we need to plan that out. We need to plan out how the mission manager is going to, and how it's going to work, essentially, how it's going to interact with other things. And then go from there. So that's one note for that. So I think we should really go from there. Okay. Yes, let's go from there. So let's go back to full screen webcam. And bring in this boy. Let me open. Is this going to obstruct anything? If it does it. No, it's fine. We're good. Right. Oh, this is yeah. I'm probably just gonna have to write on it like this. The camera's a bit. Can I move the camera? There we go. It's a bit better. So, this is for mission manager. Let's actually go over mission data and everything that a mission will need. So, mission data. So it's a scriptable object. So what does it already contain? So we're going to want the mission name. That seems like an easy one. Mission name. We'll do that. We also want the scene that it's going to need to use, and the and so to explain that, we're going to have multiple different reusable scenes that are essentially just the 3D environments the base 3D environment. So we have the starting area scene, which is just going to be, the starting area, and then we, for instance, we'll have like the quarry area, which is a big old quarry, things like that. So the different areas, essentially maps. They're just maps, is all they are. And then different missions will take place in these different areas. I haven't actually planned how many they're going to be yet. But we're going to need the scene that the main 3D is going to take from. So we need the scene. We're going to need the player spawn position. Player spawn. We are going to need the I've written mission objects here, but we need to really realistically expand upon that. So I'm going to bring up my game design document, and I'm going to go to. I'm just going to bring up on. Yeah, I'll just put it on my screen for now. So. Missions. I'm gonna sort of just read this out loud. In fact, let me. Now we'll come. I'll show you it. Yeah, this is fun to show. So, I think I've already shown this, but let's talk about it a bit. Mission design. Missions encapsulate the core gameplay of the game. This is where you fight enemies, activate your cards, collect items, and complete mission objectives. There are two types of missions: story missions and side missions. There are blank different types of objectives a mission can have. I haven't even. These are just a few of the objectives. There are blank different types of objectives a mission can have. Missions can have multiple objectives, and they can have hidden objectives that appear part of the way through missions. Below is a table of all mission objectives and their descriptions. So, there are different objectives and a mission description. So, defeat multiple, control, retrieve multiple, rescue multiple. Defeat is essentially defeating a main boss. Defeat multiple is defeating an amount of enemies. Control, stop hordes of enemies from entering select areas. The retrieves are you need to bring back collect and bring back a specific item, and then the rescues are bringing back a human and having them not die on the way. So that's what the different types of missions are that we have right now. Obviously, I'm gonna add more, hopefully. The more we go. So with it, we need to know whether it's just bloody pens. So we need to know whether it's we should probably in the mission data say whether it's the story or side mission, because the story missions are probably going to show cutscenes or do specific actions that relate to the story. So something about whether it's an enum or checkbox, like is story mission or is side mission, we'll do. So let's do is story mission, and then we want what we would want probably two lists, a list of objectives and a list of hidden objectives. So the ones that are going to start multiple, the ones that are going to start multiple way. Wow, I've forgotten how to speak. The ones that hidden Whoa! Oh, I've had a brain fart. I'm gonna drink. That is. That's fine. Love that. Let's start again. So we have the regular objective list, and then we're going to need a second list for the types of objectives that will appear part way through the mission. That's what I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. And I jumbled my words, so we've got to love that. So. Yeah, so we need two lists. So let's do lists of visible objectives, and another list of hidden too close there. Objectives. So we need those. List of visible objectives, list of hidden objectives. Those will probably come from enums. Or no. Maybe. Okay, maybe. Okay, so what I'm thinking of two ways of doing this. Either we do the lists, we either... Okay, I think the way I want to do this is, so for the objectives, each objective is a scriptable object. See, scriptable objects are great. I like them. But there is there an you can definitely overuse scriptable objects. And so there is always a worry of overusing them. So I do want to be careful. However, the idea was each objective is a scriptable object, and then within that scriptable object, it has its own stuff. So for instance, for the defeat one, it would have the main boss enemy, maybe like a timer, things like that. And so we just drag the scriptable object into the list of visible objectives or hidden objectives. And then we do that, or we do it as some sort of enum list. Can you do enum lists? Can you? Ooh, can you? Yes, you can. That's something to see. Let's see if we can do that. But never mind. So if we do it that way, though, if we do it with the scriptable object way, where each objective is a scriptable object, we will need to make it broad enough that we don't have to create, like, for instance, so that there's just one defeat objective that we drag it, and not a defeat objective for that's specific to each. But it needs to be broad, and it needs to work with multiple missions. So, for instance, for control, the types of stuff that will be in that scriptable object and the type of stuff the type of information that we need are the specific areas, or prefabs of the areas that the enemies are trying to enter. Whether they whether they take multiple different forms or multiple different visual forms, that's something we need to think about as well. So that's something to think about. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So we need. So let's do a quick recap. We need for mission data, name of the mission, the scene, player spawn. Is it a story mission? A list of the visible objectives and list of hidden objectives. List of enemies. Yeah. we'll consider list of enemies because you know, we may put list of enemies in the objectives depending, but if there's multiple objectives, then that gets a bit tricky. So we'll see. Let's just do lists. List of enemies. However, that will be, I don't know. So we'll see with that. And then, yeah, let's go with that. Because if we don't end up doing the scriptable object for the objectives, objectives, then we may have to change some things around, and or at least add things to the mission data. But that, I think, keeps it quite. That keeps it quite contained, I think. So that's what we have so far. Yeah, let's work off that basis, I think. So, put pen back there. Okay. Because then we can create the mission objectives and start a bit of work on those as well, actually. So. Because also the first, so a bit of information about this starting mission, the actual starting mission, is that it's probably almost definitely going to be a defeat, just a basic defeat main boss sort of mission. Either that or defeat multiple, and you're just going to defeat multiple basic enemies. Drop the pen. It's probably going to be a defeat multiple basic enemies, or maybe a very easy single enemy. We'll see. It's probably going to be defeat multiple type, and you're just going to defeat the most basic of easiest of enemies. So yeah, let's go back. So let's go into Unity, and let's start crafting this together. Crafting, love that. Brilliant. So, let's get started. Mission data. Let's open you up. So I made the player spawn position of vector 3. I'm going to keep it like that, but I want a better way of doing it. More specifically, some kind of... I don't think there's going to be a better way of doing it. Maybe there will. Any ideas are graciously accepted. We're going to remove mission objects for now. We're going to keep mission name and scene name. You can't... Okay, so you can... drag a scene in as an object if you... instead of it being a string, if you go object, then you can. But I find that's a bit iffy, so I'm just going to make it a string and not fuck up with the names. That's going to go wrong one day, but that's fine. We're going to keep it like that. So name, scene, player spawn, cool. We want a boolean. And we're going to call it is story mission. Oh, there you go. Is story mission. I don't want the two S's. That's a bit. That's fine. And then during the mission manager, we'll see if it is a story mission, and then we'll probably have a story manager of probably not call that, of or some sorts where we can initialize some specific story stuff, or maybe in the prefab we'll probably make an editor for this prefab. so that if that is ticked, then extra options are shown. If it's hidden, then so on. For instance, if it's ticked, another thing we might actually have to add to this is cutscene names, animation names, things like that. So this mission data might actually be quite big, but that's fine. It should be. Ugh, blimey. Right, so is it better there? Yeah, it's better there. Oh no, is it? Let's bring you around. Are you better there? Yeah, sort of. Okay, so the lists. Let's make an enum called objectives. It has to be public. What did we call the enum? I mean the objectives. Let's just bring 2 in for now. Defeat and defeat multiple. Copy it. Oh. Toby type, there you go. Defeat and defeat multiple. And then let's create a public list of objectives called visible objectives, which will equal a new list of objectives. So, do we want to do it like this? Let's go back into Unity. Let's go back into Unity, I say. Let's go to main mission 1. Okay. How do I want to do that? I have to settle on a way for now. I can't keep umming and ahhing. If anyone has any, yeah, game helps. That's on the enemy. It's yes. Oh, so is the player using that? It must be. Yes. Yeah, it must be. Gain health. Yeah. Okay. The player. Okay. Forget about that. Right. Do I want to use? It'll probably make my life easier if it is more scriptables, I think. So there's a whole is it GDD? I think it's, I forget the name of it. GDD, I think. Where Unity or some game dev was talking about how you can use scriptable objects in Unity as like a really good replacement for enums. And that's why I did it with my conditions and especially my damage types. And it's a lot more expandable rather than having enums. So if I want here, because this thing, if I want more, this isn't a good enough example, but if I want more new objectives, I'll need to update that list. And then if there's other places that do reference that list, like switch statements, actually, for instance, if I have a switch statement in the mission manager, which I probably might, saying so if we have a defeat objective, then do this, because that's what I'm probably going to have to do. Then it's a lot more expandable. because all the data can be contained in the scriptable. And I can just do like an initialize on the scriptable. Oh, I wish I could make my mind up. That would help. That would really help whether I could make my mind up. I think I'm going to make them scriptables because I can have an initialize function in the scriptable that will initialize that objective. Yeah, that it's just a lot cleaner. Yeah, let's do that then. Okay, sorry list of objectives that we're not going to use you. So. In fact, let's just do that. Let's also do that. Let's start making these scriptables now then. And we'll, I guess, just call it mission objective scriptable. Let's create a folder called and let's create a C# script called mission objective. And in mission objective, okay. Well, this is something to plan now as well. Is what we actually want in mission objective, and the types of things we need. So I think for instance, if it's a boss enemy, we'll okay. So let's clear my head. Let's open up mission objective. Let's just start. Let's start. Thank you. No. Scriptable object. We're gonna have a public string for a objective name. As essentially I always do for all my scriptable objects, I always do a string for a name. We'll go with that. And then essentially what we're going to do the same thing that we did with conditions, where we create another script for each objective. Each of those will contain like an init. That's what we need. Each of those will contain an init or initialize function, and that's essentially all. It just initializes. That's all scriptable really needs to do, as well as being a replacement for the enums. So, if we go back to, I don't make it virtual. I want to make it. Well, yeah, we'll do this. Make it abstract. There we go. So, yep. I think. Is there anything else that all the other objectives are going to need? They're probably going to need some sort of. What will all of them need? Specifically, the objectives. They are going to need, if we go back here, Defeat a boss enemy. Specify stop pausing and select areas. Because I don't want to just put things in that no one's going to use. I don't know. I think we'll keep it as a name for now, and then we can go back and forth and change things. There's no point just sitting here and twiddling my thumbs about things that may be there, may not be there. So let's. Sorry, I'm just fiddling around with the stream. Let's. Yeah, we'll save that. Go back here. Let's go into mission objectives. Let's create a new script called defeat objective. I'm going to get just this and create it, or copy it rather, and then go back into here. There we go. Okay, so, and also, mission objective, that's what we derive from. Yeah, it's going to complain. We need to do that. There we go. So, in fact, let's make a bunch of them. So we have stop it. Defeat multi let's rename are we we're not good. We're a bit ill. What's wrong? God, I hate duplicating these bloody things. Always want to throw a fucking hissy fit. Yeah, I know. Right, let's just do it like this. God. Defeat multi-objective. What was the other? What the really? No, it fucking doesn't. The fuck is happening? Okay, so right, okay, cool. Right, let's go into bloody source tree and remove you. Mission. Okay. Let's remove that. Let's also remove the metaphor because that's what's probably fucking it. Right. God, I hate Unity sometimes. swear to God, if this comes up with an error, I'm going to lose it. There we go. Okay. This derives from mission objective. Bring you in. There you go. And then finally, let's bring in one or two more. Control. Create a... oh, no, let's create a... control objective. Right. Abstract you in. Let's... Can we please have this? Oh yeah, we no. Sorry, we need the regular defeat. There we go. So now with that, well, hey, fucking playing out. Thank you. Defeat multiple, save you, and then let's. Control. Okay, so with all that done, or with some of that set up rather, we're going to go into here. Let's go to missions and then mission objectives. Let's create a objective called defeat. Let's create another objective called defeat multiple. There we go. Let's finally create... No, not that. Let's finally create another objective called... Let's finally create another objective called control. Thank you very much. There we go. And so now if we go into mission data and create a list of mission objectives, let's create another list called hidden. We maybe need some type of separate initialize that, or maybe in the initialize we'll have a bool parameter that is that we call if it's visible or hidden, and just slightly different stuff depending on whether it's visible or hidden. That could work, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, if we go back to this, with these lists, for instance, for mission 1, it's going to be a defeat multiple objective. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Go love scriptable objects. Hope not using them too much, but then again, I do think they make my life easier, especially with what I want to do, really. Because I like lots of user interface, Unity script and type of stuff. I will make a and I'll probably do this on stream at some point. Not today though. Maybe next stream. Who knows? An editor for the mission data to make it a lot nicer. I don't do they may not even need that, so I might not, but I might, because I can see it getting quite big. Because it will probably need a bunch of like audio files attached, especially if it's is story mission. In fact, you probably will need an editor script. So yeah, enough of that. That's essentially all the basic stuff. Let's bring this up here. So that's essentially all the basic stuff we put on here. We just really need to do something with it now. But let's go into our defeat model. Let's go into our just regular defeat objective. So we know we need an enemy. So let's create a public enemy, number 1. Boss enemy. Let's do that. And so with that, if we go back into objectives and then go into defeat, we should be able to assign oh no, yeah, it'll be a fucking idiot. It'll be an object with it. Oh god, I am not with it today. Yeah, so we'll be able to drag in a specific enemy. I mean, it'll be a prefab that has that in some way it has the enemy as a parent. For instance, the crying enemy, that's the basic enemy. Say that was the boss. We'll drag it in, but it will only have reference to that specific one. We won't be able to instantiate. Actually, I think you can instantiate that. I think you can. So, for instance, let's go into prefabs. Let's drag this in and call it crying enemy. Let's drag it in here. There we go. I think you can instantiate that, and I think let's do a test of that. But let's do a test of that when we come back from the break. Yeah, gonna go on break now. And we'll do some of those testing. We'll start actually doing the mission manager stuff, and we'll sort of change things in the script objects as we go, and sort of as we need them. And I think we'll go like that. And we'll also figure out a way of how we want to call all this stuff from loading scenes and things like that. We'll be right back. Hello, 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 hello. God, I'm tired. How are we all doing after the break? Hope we're all good. Okay. Back to it. Let's just jump straight back into it. So. We sort of created, yeah, everyone can hear me good. I actually turned my mic on. So, last we left off, yeah, created some scriptables. We added on to the mission data. And I think we're just going to start initializing some stuff and getting, the loading ready in... I don't have it up, I don't think. In the mission manager. That's there. Nah, there it is. Right. So, when we load in to... When we're loading, we are carrying... in the level select or in whichever way we need to load into a level, that's going to give the mission data to the mission manager. So it's not going to just be a drag and drop in here, because the scenes, like I said before, are all going to be very generic, and essentially they're just going to be maps where we will do multiple different missions. So, we won't be like, this is going to be empty, and we won't even be able to, we may be able to see in the inspector, but we should need to manually change it in the inspector. So what we need is how do I spell it? Because I'm shit. Thank you. Initialize mission. And also we need a way for either the level loader or maybe the probably not play manager, but level loader to get the mission manager from within the scene. And then to call all this stuff. So let's mission data, call data. No, just call it data. Thank you. And then we'll have mission data. What we call the data. And then, for instance, mission data dot. Let's not do that. Let's do for each. Oh, actually, let's before we do too much. In here, we want a bool, didn't we? For is is hidden. Yeah. And we'll just automatically set that to false. Yeah. And then it's gonna bitch and moan at me for all of these. Ooh, lovely voice drop there. Nope. There we go. So when we call it in a regular initialize, we'll just yeah. In fact, let's go back to the scriptable. This is a story mission. Story mission 1. We're going to rename it to story mission. Mission date. Yeah, okay, cool. Mission manager. Okay, now that that's done, before got too big. We're going to want to loop through the objectives. We're not going to want to do this first, but I'm just writing it out first. It's probably not going to be 4. We'll just do 4. The mission data dot visible objectives dot length dot fucking count. There we go. So for each of those, get the mission data. Dots visible objectives I dot initialize, and it's the visible ones, so we just want to keep is hidden to false. Okay, and then hit this, and then inside each of our objectives, then we'll do the specific initialize that we need to set up this objective, and we're going to need to make it like I said, we're going to need to make it quite broad. Then any specifics we can always add to the mission objective or the mission data itself. So let's get away in the sort of level manager to load all this stuff. So we want to load. So once we've loaded the scene, we ideally want to set up the mission area and all that stuff before setting up the player. So, in fact, that begs the question of let's do. What do we want to do? Where are we here? We want to do that. And also we want to pass through the mission data. So I think, so what's normally going to happen is there's going to be like a menu, and then there'll be a list of different missions, then you'll be able to select one. And those objects themselves, probably those buttons or those, whatever those are going to just have a reference to the mission data scriptable, whichever mission they are. Because we're in testing mode, what I'm going to do for now then is just to have a mission data variable in this level manager here for now, and then we'll get to doing things properly essentially. So let's remove the mission data from the mission manager for now. Let's go into the game manager. I think actually what we can. Oh yeah, actually no. Yeah, what we're gonna do then? Rather. Ooh, God, I keep fucking. Right. Yeah, rather than having this object, the mission manager object here, I think that should be we load the scene, we instantiate a mission manager, because then we can get access to it easily. Oh yeah, what's wrong? Oh yeah. Let's do that for now. And then, yes. Okay, I like that. Let's do that. He says, there we go. So, I'm also going to remove these enemies. There we go. And remove that enemy as well. And Go into prefabs. Drag mission manager in there. Delete it. Let's go into crying enemy. Let's 0, 0 it. Mission manager. That's fine as it is. Granted, the buttons won't work anymore, but that's the least of our problems right now. In fact, let's just create a empty game object. Buttons. Buttons tester. And then and let's very quickly just get these buttons working again. Yeah, I know. And then it's take damage. And then that one's fine. And save state just wants to save the state. You just want to save the state, bro. There we go. And then mission manager doesn't need this anymore. So, obviously all this. Ooh, there we go. Obviously all this stuff. Oh, hey. I love the multi-stream function here. It doesn't bloody show me YouTube chat. Hey, the boring life. Hey, Tubble? I think it is. I think my eyes. Tubbit, I think that says. My eyes are barely working. Hello, sorry if you're not here anymore. Hate how the YouTube chat just doesn't show up on my Streamlabs. That's great. Always love that. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Right now we're doing the level, some level managing, scene managing, mission managing, setting all that stuff up. How are you all doing? I'm going to keep the YouTube chat on just for a hot second. There we go. I'm doing all good. How are all you doing? So, where were we? Yep, so we saved that. Ideally, we do not want... I'm just hearing some weird noises. Love that. That's not scary at all. At home alone. Yeah, so ideally we don't want or just to throw a bunch of stuff into the level manager. I'm just gonna make this see how that's feel for now. But here we are. Let's yield return. Let's do that for now. Yeah, so we don't want to just sort of add references to prefabs and stuff in the level manager. That's not really needed, but we're going to do it for now anyway. So we'll add mission data there, and we're going to add maybe we don't want to add. Let's just add a game object. Called we're not going to make it a game object, we're going to just make it a mission manager. This will probably all go into a different script later, but I'm putting it here for now because it's quicker and easier. And I'm lazy. Let's go into prefabs. Let's go into mission manager. Drag that in. There you go. Now we have a reference to that object. And so when it loads, we're setting the active scene, and then we Oh, well, we're not saying the active scene, it's the end scene. But we want to, and slash we are, going to... Yeah, this needs to go. Let's do it like this for now. Let's just put it all here for now. It's going to be easier and quicker. So, mission manager will equal an instantiated version of the mission manager. I know you can do it. That's what was wrong. Let's give this a go. Let's see what happens. So, let's give things a whirl. I hope this is all working fine. Ah! There you go. Play, continue. No errors. Mission manager. There we go. And then once that's done, manager dot, let's do yield return start coroutine manager dot initialize mission mission data. There you go. And let's go into mission manager. Debug.log start init mission finished init mission, and then let's go into it's the defeat multi debug.log init defeat. There we go. So with a few debugs, I'm going to see if this works, and it probably will. Should never say probably will with Unity, but it probably will. So ooh, it did, but there was a camera follow definitely. That's something we can do in the mission manager. Is yeah, that is something we can do in the mission manager. Is wait for the let's wait for that. So basically what was happening is the player camera is always active in the scene. We'll probably change that so it's only in the prefab we have a reference to the player camera, and then what do we want to do? Because we're waiting for the player to be loaded. And I don't really want this to error. Waiting for the player to be loaded. So maybe in the player controller, we tell the mission manager to give it a player. Yes. Oh, but we need a camera. I'll think about it. That's gonna be an error that I'm gonna put up with for time being. But I want to think of a better way of doing this. But we start the init mission, init defeat multi, and then finished it. So that all works. It's just the error doesn't like there not being a reference to the player temporarily for like a single frame. I think about that. Should be all good though. It should be all good. God. I want to do a 4-hour fucking stream, but every time I do, I just get tired. You know, not having a proper... Is that gone yellow? I don't think it has. No, it hasn't. Okay. So I have a little Lego bonsai tree, and I thought some of the white bits turned yellow. Yeah, no. Every time I said in sort of the promo stuff for the streams that I do 12 to 4. Sometimes I just said it starts at 12 p.m. But I said also sometimes 12 to 4 p.m. And you never really get to 4. I always sort of quit around 3, and then sometimes a bit before. But I want to get to 4 at some point. Speaking of what I will say though, is so there will be a stream of this Thursday. But then next week, probably, fingers crossed, I need to book trains and stuff. I'm going to develop Brighton, which is a big old sort of like convention. It's almost like it's more of a convention. It's more of a showcase. Where a bunch of different game devs and software devs get together and on like a showcase floor, show off their work, show off the new stuff they're making. There's all these panels and talks. The panels and talks you have to pay for. All the showcase, the floor stuff is free entry and everything. So I'm gonna go there, talk about the game dev stuff, talk about the voiceover stuff, connections with people. And that's happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know if I'm not gonna be there all days. I'll probably come back. I mean, they're minimum 1 day, maximum 2 days. So I'm probably not gonna be streaming next week. I'll probably Monday, Friday I might do stream. I probably won't be Saturday, Sunday. So maybe less streams next week. There may not be any streams next week. I'll probably try and fit one in at some point. We'll see. But that's a heads up. I'll give you another heads up this Thursday when I know more about what's going. But I need to book the bloody tickets first, and there's some people I know I might meet up with. So we'll see how we're all what's happening. We'll see what's up with what's happening. Yes. Well, yeah. So the question was, if there was a question. Oh, yes. We're gonna forget about the camera stuff first. And just sort of go with mission manager. Go with this. So we're initializing. We know we're hitting the initialize for each objective. That's fine. What are the other things we need to do? The other things we need to do is set the player position, and we should probably do that in the player manager. Yes. So, I'm just thinking about how I want to do things. You should be saying stuff out loud, but I sometimes just pause and just have a brain moment and sort of just think silently, which is normally how you think. Can be honest, I don't know what I say to think silently. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Right. So setting the player's position. Hello everyone that's watching on YouTube. Let's go into the player manager then. This is where we're instantiating the player. We need a reference to the player data. Locally, or the mission data. Itchy nose. There we go. So there we go. Instantly we get that. And also in here, it's gonna just be mission data. There we go. So the player manager. So set player script. Yeah, we call set player scripts. We get all the camera stuff. We're gonna move. Yeah, we're gonna initialize. Yeah, so we're gonna move the player dot local dot transform dot local position dot something dot local position. No, it can be equals the data dot the player spawn position. Let's check that works. He should be a bit more in the middle of those crossroads. Or more specifically, actually, should be at -14 to 6, where normally the prefab. We can go to the prefab. Normally the prefab is at 020. So, and yes, I can tell instantly that that's worked. He's at there. So this is the starting location. There we go. The starting location done. Yeah, the error's there, but that's just for the camera. That definitely gonna have to fix that, but I'm gonna ignore that for now, because we like ignoring things. Other things. Just checking the stream's okay. I think I don't know if I check the stream is okay too often. I think I do. There we go. So yeah, list of enemies. That's what we were thinking of doing. That's what I should probably do next, and set up all the enemy stuff and all the enemy in it and all that. So let's go back to the mission objectives. Mission data is what we want. So, for instance, I think what we're going to do, because we were wondering whether we have, the list of enemies in the specific objective, the list of enemies in the mission data. So I think what we want is, unless there's a specific special enemy that has special rules and things like that interact with the objective, we add that enemy into the specific objective scriptable. If not, though, if it's just the enemies that are going to be in the level, we create a list for them here for now. So I want a public list of type enemy, And we're going to essentially just drag the prefabs in and then instantiate them where we need to. And we're obviously going to need things like the enemy spawn points and things like that. And so all that stuff can't really be done with the Vector 3. So we're going to need to figure out a better way of doing that. But for now, list of enemies called enemies in mission that we call a new enemy list. So we'll do that when this loads, obviously. Yeah, I know. That's nothing I need to fix. I'll do your on-gain health stuff later, God. Stop complaining to me. So what we need is the scriptable for the mission. This is story mission 1, so that it doesn't have any hidden objectives. But it does have some enemies. Mainly the crying enemy. We can't switch between. Stop. So the crying enemy. There we go. And also let's go to the defeat multiple objective. There we go. Let's open it up. We know with defeat multiple, which is the first type of objective, the first level, we're going to need a int for we're going to need 2 ints, one for the See, the problem with these objectives now is that we can't. So ideally, these scriptals obviously need to be treated like read-onlys. So we can't really have a count, but we can have a max count. So let's just make the public int max. What do we call it? So this is for the amount of enemies they need to defeat, because it's defeat multiple. So we need the amounts they need to complete the mission. So defeat amounts, and then they need the list of all the enemies that count towards that defeat amount. Defeated. There we go. Yeah. That probably needs to be public as well. I can probably not even make them public. Probably don't need to exactly. But that's fine. So I keep hearing a noise over there, and that's near my door. I'm sure it's just next door opening and closing their door. But it's really bloody concerning because it's quite a high pitched like screech. Maybe I'm just hearing things. Maybe I'm going deaf. I don't know. Anyway, what was I doing? Ah, yes, the scriptables for the defeat multiple mission. So let's say it's like 20. Actually, funny enough, what's actually going to happen is the first story mission is actually going to be the objective is going to actually be a hidden objective technically, because the defeat multiple will only start partway through the mission. So we're gonna probably actually have to change that, but for the time being, just so we know, this stuff works, we're gonna make it a visible objective. But enemies to be defeated, we're gonna need to make it the crying prefab. So 20 crying enemies essentially. Obviously things may change later, because we may want to have things like 20 of this enemy and 10 of another enemy, or we want 20 of this enemy and this enemy in whatever number. So we need to think about stuff like that. Maybe that's a different type of defeat multiple. Maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see essentially. I'm gonna just very quickly grab some water, because I need some. So I'll be right back. One moment. Hello. Right. Oh, it's also a bit cold in here, but that's fine. So, yeah, we'll do this. We'll do it like this for now, and then we can make modifications later. So I want to work on spawning the enemies in. That's going to be through the mission manager. For now, I might, yeah, probably it'll be through the mission manager. So spawn enemy. So how I want to do this is we get the enemies from just the basic mission. We're going to need to save stuff in the mission manager for like maybe boss enemies or extra enemies, or maybe a list of special enemies, or a special enemy, just variable single one. We'll need to think about that stuff, because this needs to be quite flexible. Hence why I guess I did it as script. Did the objectives as scriptables. There we go. I can talk. So yeah, let's just work on spawning in the basic enemies in mission data and getting all that spawning and setting up, establishing players, things like that up. So so I want to call spawn enemy here just for testing purposes, and then we're gonna data dot for now, because it's only test, we're just gonna do enemies in mission enemy called enemy. So We'll just do that. We'll actually create a better way of doing it in a moment. But for now, just so we know this works, we want to spawn, so we want to create an enemy called enemy that will equal instantiate enemy. When we do that, we want to current enemy dot get component enemy movements dot is it called player or is it called I thought it was called target. I could be wrong. It is called player. Okay, cool player. That's fine. Dot player equals. We're gonna need a reference to the player. How do I want to do this? The player manager will need, yeah, so what do I want? I want a actually no, I don't need, what am I doing? I don't need a fucking reference to the current player because I've got it through the game manager. Equals so is it just an object of the player? I should know this. I wrote this. Oh, so yeah, transform. Okay. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what that will be then is game manager not instantiate instance dot player manager dot player controller dot transform. Yeah. And let's just make, for now, the current enemy dot transform dot local position equal to a. I mean, this is going to be changed later. I don't want, you know, to. What is the regular kind? 1.5. Oh, stop. There we go. 1.5 to. There we go. We'll do that for now. See what happens. Oh, and then we need to set them active. There we go. Right. See how this works. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, and let me actually switch to YouTube, see if anyone's chatting. No, I have a problem with YouTube and then Streamlabs. It doesn't like to always connect. So actually, let's double check with Twitch to make sure no one's okay. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions and comment. I'm currently working on like level system stuff for the game. I'm working on. Please, let me know if you've got any thoughts. But anyway, so we're gonna load. And is there an enemy? Yes, there is. They didn't set them active. And also they didn't set... ooh. Yeah, they didn't set the player... Okay. They didn't set the... That's actually interesting. Let's take a... Oh, I know Yeah, idiot. Oh, yeah, that's why. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, okay. So... Okay, no. So, so basically what was happening in my head there is we're yielding this. I don't think we should. What we should do is just let them both go at the same time because the level's loaded, so we can load a player in wherever he needs to be. Because it's got a floor. It's nothing bad is going to happen. And so then what we do is because in here we set player manager setup true. Once player manager setup is true, then we do the some other stuff here. So while game Jesus Christ, while game manager dot instance dot player manager dot player manager setup is false. I need to go all the way back here. Yield return null. There you go. And then once it's true, then we can spawn enemy and do all that stuff. So that should work now. He says, thinking it would have worked last time, and it didn't, but that's fine. There we are. Oh, and the camera didn't make a hissy fit. That's because okay, cool. Kill two birds with one stone. Wonderful. Mwah. 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 Right, sorry. Don't know what the fuck I'm doing there. Cool. Let me just write something down on my phone. If it will let me. Any day now. And okay, there we go. Right. So that'll work. We've got some for basic enemy spawning. Obviously, we need to change where it's been spawned and sort that out. That's all good. And then so we don't need to hold a reference to the player, obviously, because we can just get to the game manager. Maybe instead of doing player control, maybe we save the transform in here or save the game object in here, rather than going to then this script and then doing .transform. But we'll leave it like that for now. Realistically, I did just kind of really want to get the enemy spawn sort of working a bit more because it was just a hassle, and that was the main thing I actually kind of wanted to do. Obviously, it's not the main thing for the whole of the initialized mission and mission manager and level manager, but that's sort of actually kind of really what I wanted to do. So, yay that for now. If we set to if we actually bring, let's open up the scenes. Let's go into starting area. Go down here, and we're facing this way. And so I want the enemy to spawn here, not there. Oh, no, there. Let's do 5 minus 10. There we go. And that should be good now, because then the enemy may not go directly towards, or we're not close to the enemy at the start. Now let's just give that a go quickly. Just see where just for testing purposes, see if it feels nice. Okay, that's, yeah, I'm fine with that. There we go. Brilliant, perfect. Okay, gonna go on another quick break. Gonna think of what to do next. I'll see you in a few minutes. Yeah, come back in a few minutes. Right, bye bye. One moment. Hello, hello. Oh, actually, let's go to full screen here. Hello. Let's turn the music down. First of all, boom. There we go. Hello, hello. So probably actually could have waited for till the break to get the water, but I got it a bit earlier. So quickly nipped out to the post box. I have a letter. I know what this is. It's nothing that I necessarily need to keep hidden. Ooh, TCG Tavern. And so what this is a bunch of Digimon cards. I played Digimon TCG, and I thought I would open it quickly. Show you what I got. Breaks up. Oh, Jesus Christ! They fucking sellotape this thing shut, don't they? Yeah. So let's open this up. Oh, brilliant! Come on. Okay, it's been torn off corner by corner. There we go. Oh, that's actually a lot close. That's sorry. Anyway, let's just. There we go. Rip into that. This is TCG Tavern. I recommend going to them for any, I guess, card game needs. They do, I think, mainly do Magic, but they do the One Piece card game and Digimon as well. So TCG Tavern. I bought from them a few times. I think that lighting was quite good. So, can I get a sharp object? Bloody hell. My keys are all over there. So, gonna have to just peel the sellotape back. Very entertaining, I know. I'm not doing it on camera because it's just gonna be fucking awkward. I'm just gonna show what's in there. There we go, ripped it. So, oh fucking, of course it's the fucking horny ass shit. Brilliant. The super fucking horny. I hope that's not what's all that's in here. Fucking is, isn't it? It's gonna be. Right. I thought it was going to be a lot more of the cooler stuff, not just the horny, big-titted goth. Not goth. It's definitely not goth. It's fucking angel women. Bloody hell. I got this for the mechanics, not the looks, I swear. Right. See, this is it. It's in. Oh, cool. I'm just dropping everything, aren't I? Right. Come on, let's open you up. Yeah, it's just these cards. It's just these two bloody cards, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Right. Put you there. Put sellotape there. Let me try and pick you up my foot. Right. Oh, Jesus God, it's such a. Bloody hell. Is it just two? Yeah, it's just two cards. Okay. Well, here's Venusmon. There you go. You don't even need to. It's not. The camera's not focusing. But you don't need to really focus to look at the general shape of that and to know what that is. Mechanically, she's really good. And that's why I got her. She's also actually quite expensive still. But she's like £10 for one. £10 for one of a piece of fucking cardboard. God, right. I know she was like £8. Even so, like, oh fucking hell. Right, that's that. Cool. Yay me. I've got a bunch of. I thought they're gonna be some. I got a bunch more cards that need to come, and I thought they're gonna be the cooler ones, like the weird fucking data eating virus thing, or the or Goku or Sanzo from Journey to the West, because they're Digimon, but no, it's Venusmon, the angel with tits. No, sorry, the shaman with tits, who's a part of the Olympians 12, which is a Digimon group. So there we go. No, I will. You know what? Fuck it. I am going to show you some more cooler cards I have. Hang on. We have. Because I'm not fucking leaving there. We have cool little dog boy. Right, this has just become this. We have cool little dog boy called Lugamon, who his tamer, they call them tamers in Digimon, not or partners, but tamers. His tamer is a boy called Edgy, who is fighting the digital police, but also digital terrorists. Love that. And that little wolf boy turns into a bigger wolf boy called Fenrir Lugamon, for a Fenrir. You can sort of see that that's his. They're the claws. And that's his head, and he's going grrr at them. That's a better picture of Fenrir Luga. There you go. And the one thing I do hate in a bunch of TCGs, and I think the worst for it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just the very fucking over-sexualized women. Luckily, Digimon doesn't do it too often. They only have a handful of the really big-titted creatures, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Does a lot. We also have small kids and the other deck here that I have is full of what are called legend arms, and they are Digimon that are just creatures, but they take inspiration from weapons and they turn into weapons essentially. So we have and this is not a great deck right now, but I'm using it temporarily whilst my Journey to the West deck gets completed. So we have Ludomon, who is a shield, who's just a Digimon with the embodiment of a shield. And then we have Spadamon, who's a little rat thing who's sort of the embodiment of sabers and swords. And when we have another sword called... Where the fuck is it? Where is he? Called Zubamon, who is this weird little dragon with a sword coming out of his forehead, and he's also a sword. And then they both turn into Ragnar Lordmon, which is, you can't fucking see that, but he's a big knight with a sword and shield. So, he's not really a knight, was he? What are his factions? What are his tags? Unique. Virus. Cool. So that's them. That's what I have right now. I also have Chinese mythology of the four cardinal directions and the big Fanlongmon, which is not how you meant to pronounce it, but they butchered the name, so it's more understandable for English audiences. So yeah, I got these for the Journey to the West deck. They're purely mechanical. That's all I have to say about that. Right. Back to this. Back to the game I'm making. Jesus. Did sort of take a little bit of inspiration from how they layered, how they sort of organized their card with the cards in my game. But then again, most TCG card games sort of do a similar thing where they have the name at the bottom. Apart from Yu-Gi-Oh, which does name at the top, but, name sort of like near the bottom with texts, and then like values in the top corners, things like that. So yeah. So where we left off, just after the break. Wow, sorry, dip after I stopped talking about Digimon and Big Tits. Cool, love that. We got proper spawning. Or basic spawning, I should say. It's not proper, but it's gonna be easier to test some weapon stuff now. And essentially, so I was, the main reason I wanted to do this was just to get an enemy in, easily spawned, so I didn't have to reassign it. Oh, that's sort of lagging when I. Is it lag? Yeah, it's a bit when I'm sort of wiggling my mouse. That's interesting. That's interesting. May have to look at that. I don't know if that's just an actual visual thing or if actual game frames are dropping. Who knows? Anyway, so I actually just wanted the enemy to be spawned, and that's realistically actually kind of what I wanted to do today. I know it's going to be a lot easier, but I am also setting up the groundwork for the other, setting up the mission manager and the other missions. So if we do go to the here, yeah, so this is a part of scene loading mission manager stuff. Player mission UI. This isn't necessarily the mission UI being the art being done for it. Might be, kind of is, isn't it? No, it's just the coding for it, which is already almost kind of done, to be fair. That realistically should be in progress, but I won't turn it in progress yet. So, loading is there. We won't do loading because we're doing the. There is more loading stuff. Yeah, player loader. Save some. Mission select. Mission select is also with loading. So I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to do this stream because I've been quite tired and didn't have time to plan. So I was like, oh, okay, let's do something that's been annoying me. Let's do a little bit sidetracking. Especially because I haven't thought about what I want to do with the other abilities. Slash how I sort of want to do them, and also fixing some issues. So the next one I am going to do, I am sort of trying to go down in order. So the next one I want to do is do the swarm stuff. But I'm going to take a bit of thinking to that. So I'm taking a break of doing the abilities off stream and doing some of this stuff. The initial idea for the stream was to learn more Blender, and by more Blender I mean just basic Blender again. But we sort of reached a point where I'm just going to branch off from the loading scene and mission manager and probably go back to the card abilities, because that's the main bit that really needs to be done. Introductory mission design. Yeah, we really realistically need to make the mission a lot bigger, or the mission area a lot bigger. Right. So I'm literally in the state of I'm sort of deciding what I really want to do right now. So that's sort of what I'm deciding on doing. If any sort of thoughts of what you want to see, let me know. That'd be great. So. Yeah. What do I want to do? Let's fiddle around. I know what I want to do. If I do that, then come back out. Oh no. Let's just go into the enemy script, because the enemy is complaining that on gain health is not being used, and it is not being used. And to very quickly fix that without doing any proper work, all we need to do. What am I looking for? Yeah, I'm looking for that. All we need to do is on gain health. Dot invoke health. Just do that, and then hopefully the error won't show up anymore. And it probably shouldn't. Probably, he says. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I said at the beginning of the stream that I'm sick of only going to 3 p.m. even though I said I'll go always to 4 p.m. Tough tits. I'm gonna go to 3 p.m. again. So we've got roughly come up to half an hour left. That is fine. So. Oh. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, so this actually keeps changing, and that should stop happening, because I don't like it changing. So I'm gonna. It's not really a big issue, is it? Where are I calling flash damage? Here, base material. Base material, I guess, .col equals basic. Okay, cool. Sorry, right, just looking at stuff. So yeah, I want to stop. So basically what is happening, why this is changing from black to red, sometimes is when an enemy takes damage, it flashes red. When an enemy dies, it flashes red, and then gets deleted before it can change back. So in it just gets destroyed in the crying enemy. There we go. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Is it because we're changing the base color? No, it should be. Oh, I don't know what's happening there then. Do I want to fix it now? No, I don't. This is a great time of my time, I guess. Does anything else need to be a mission data that I can think of right now? Probably lots of things that I'm not thinking of because I'm exhausted. What would probably need to be there? I don't know. Oh, actually, let's give a test of some of the ability stuff. Because the abilities are now working. Oh yes, and the passive stuff. That's actually what I can go through, the passives. So, passives. Camera phone. Let's remove the objectives. Mission day. We'll leave those in. Move you. So passives. In fact, let's go to here. Let's go back to here. So there was a talk about passives last time, and how we're going to do them, and I've basically sort of sussed it out essentially. So because most of them are quite easy. The only tricky ones I haven't got to yet, like the irritating out one, is when you have to actually do something to the enemy. But I think I've figured that one out anyway. Yes, so I believe that this is all done. And actually, in fact, if we go to the here we are. So right now, the passive percentage, which is the percentage chance that the passive will enable, essentially, is right now set to 100%. That was for testing. Obviously, it won't happen sometimes. I created essentially a small utility that does a very, very basic thing, which is it just does a random number. It's a random range from 1 to 100 and then returns it. That will definitely be more expanded upon later. So essentially, in here, in main attack, that's Dragonite Sword. So in Dragonite Armor, in trigger ability, so in Dragonite Sword, there we go. So we set the armor attack values, and then if we go into ability attack, which used to be called just weapon, but it's now any sort of ability attack that we need. This is set armor values, where we set the base damage, we get the damage type list, we check whether we want to call passive, a passive check. So if we go into Dragonite Sword, if we hit, we do want to call a passive check, because if you remember, the the passive is when we hit an enemy, there's a chance of giving the burn condition. So with the Dragonite Sword, we want to do a passive check, and then we set the armor to the current armor for the passive check. And so we set that, and then we do main attack, where we do damage, and then we check passive. And then, and then it, we do that. Yeah, here we are. So when hitting an enemy, the player power increases by 0. So similar sort of thing. Where we trigger an armor attack, we set the armor values, and then, and this is in melee attack trigger, which also derives from ability attack, which used to be weapon. And then we do similar things. So we set the armor attack values, and then if we hit, we go to main attack, and then we do the same thing. And then if the percentage chance matches and hits, we call passive ability. And then the passive ability in this one, so actually the passive ability in the Dragonite Knight one, There's nothing right now. But the one in the Flame Fist increases the player power. And as we know, the player power... there you go. Gets multiplied. Oh, now... Okay, sorry. One thing at a time, Toby. And then, the player power gets multiplied by the damage, and that's how much damage you do. Sorry, in the multi-stream for Streamlabs, now that the bloody YouTube messages come in, unless they've said it twice, I don't think they would have, because it's two different people doing two... No. And also... it probably did it because... Chat disconnected, please wait while trying to connect you, and then it immediately connected back. So it probably did that and then sent the messages. Also, current stream is on YouTube at least given a warning about the stream, but it says stream status good, so whatever. Right. So, let's go with Dragonic Knight armor card, and let's figure out how we want to get the how we want to do its passive, which is essentially just we want to give the enemy the burn condition that we hit. I guess if you hit multiple, then it just gives them all the burn condition, or no, for each one it hits, it will get because it's already checking for each one, not for it entirely. So we need to essentially pass in the target. Yeah, essentially. And the target is probably going to be of type enemy. Yeah, it's going to be a type enemy. So this is going to be the annoying bit. So, and I probably should do this all here. So we need to add the parameters for the target here. And what I originally did is I added the parameters of a game object because I needed some way to get the player controller, like I do here. But I don't need to do that anymore because I'm doing it through the Player Manager. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the boring work and change the 20 or 40 scripts that have all that already. And for instance, Flame Fist doesn't need the target, but it's going to have it anyway. So essentially, we go into armor card. Oh, I accidentally pressed that, that's fine. And then, we probably need to remove initialize from the game object from initialize as well. Oh, sod it, I'll do it later. I don't have time to go through all that. I don't need to, because it's gonna be so much to change. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna do it. Bloody hell. Okay. Is that saying how long have I streamed for? Why does it say 4 minutes for... Oh, did I fucking bloody lose connection? From Twitch, at least. Hey. How am I working whilst talking? I don't know, really. I just kind of do. But you'll probably see that I have sort of stopped typing and I'm not retyping what's talking right now. So that's probably how. That's basically how. But hey, hope you're enjoying. So okay, well, I don't want to do it, but I know I need to do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Right. Okay, let's just do it. Right, so we need to remove game object, because you can't mass do it. I've tried. I'm pretty sure you can't. And I've Googled it. I've done what all programs do. So the target is going to be of type enemy, probably. Is it going to be of type enemy? Is it? Yeah. Let's make up type enemy. Because I don't think you're going to be attacking other people with this yet. And that has just... And then, yeah, the initialize, we remove. That's going to make people... scripts unhappy. Now if we go into Unity... 120. 120, love it. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right. You... Gonna control C you just to control V you. And then let's remove you. Oh. Yeah, this is what it's gonna do. God. I know I had to do it at some point. I've been putting it off the whole time. Really annoying. Where's my friend? There's the friend. Let me write something down quickly as well. Oh, what's the bloody email? Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna start cracking on, and when we hit 3, I'm gonna stop the stream for the time being. Right. What's... Oh, chill ice. Game manager dot instance dot player manager dot controller dot audio dot transform. Let's copy that. This is going to be... Oh, for most of them, it's not going to be this. For most of them, it's just going to be copying enemy and then removing the other bits. There we go. That's that one done. This is this one. Let's also change it in Draconic Knight, just and Flamefish, just so it shuts up about those. Passive. Because then we can... Ideally, I want to get this done before... I can definitely get it done within 20 minutes. Oh my god, why are you so annoying? Game... Oh, we don't need to get the fucking component. Game manager. Shut up. See, I'm annoyed now. I'm annoyed that I did this to... Oh my god, we're not using masked.sister. Also, what I need to do is set up more namespaces for different things, because I'm not doing that. And I'm a dick for not doing that. Right. Game manager dot instance dot player manager dot player controller dot weapon animator. There we go. Next. Game manager dot instance dot player manager dot controller. game manager.instance dot player manager.controller. Game manager.instance dot player manager.controller. There we go. God, oh, we're not gonna get. Okay, no, we are gonna get through it all. We're gonna get through it all. Remove that. Add that in. Remove that. Don't need to do anything there. Okay, let's get through all this quick. Come on, let's go. Let's go rapid fast. Remove you. Add you. Remove you. Oh, why did I do so many get components? I'm a fucking twat. Okay. Dot controller. There we go. Oh, just fuck off. I don't like you anymore. No, oh, stop. Just... Oh, I'm not having a day. I'm not having a good day, am I? I'm having a terrible one. First of all, this needs to be... change... That's gauge. Change... speed... funk. I'm not going to do it now, because I feel like I have better things to do in my life. Like cry. Guess what? I don't know what's happened. I keep hearing the fucking sound. It's actually kind of scary. I keep hearing a sound and I don't know where it's coming from. There we go. That's danger shock done. We're just down to 90. I forgot what I said I was going to do if we finished this. He's going to do... Oh, yeah, I was going to try and do the actual enemy stuff with the Dragonic Knight stuff. That's fine. Granted, I also shouldn't be doing it in this branch, because right now I'm on the scene management branch. But it's my fucking project, so I can do what I like with it. Pirate fucking captain, I swear to God, if you have... And, oh, I was about to say, and you do. How much is it? Oh, not too bad. Okay. Oh, this doesn't have fucking game manager either. Can I write USING? There we go. I'm just saying staying silent for this part because I'm just trying to... See, it's not that bad because realistically there's not that many of these and I'm only having to do it like 20 times. But it's the fact that I'm absolutely shattered and my fingers aren't doing what they're told to do. And also I want to get the Dragon Ignite thing working, passive working. Oh yes, I know you're also broken down there. Shut up. There we go. Normal one for once. Love that. Oh shit, what am I doing? Oh my god, just keep your eyes open, Toby. Please. You're having a shocker. I don't really do coffee, but if I did, I'll have quite a lot right now. I say that. I did have I bought a coffee this morning, but it was just like a latte. Because I knew I was going to be tired, but maybe I should have done it closer to the fucking stream. Although we do have a sleuth of easy ones. What? Who's messaging me? No one. Cool, I'm not loved. 40. Okay, we're basically down to half now. Cool. Here's a big one. Oh, God. Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open, go on. You just gotta keep your eyes open. And you can go to get some sleep after this. Jesus, I can't talk. I'm gonna be honest, the jazz isn't helping. The jazz is almost making it harder. Who would have thought? Slow moving jazz. Utter fudge, hello. You know what? You can always message me on any other social media, so please do that if you have anything to offer. But I don't think I'm going to go with that right now. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your consideration. Granted, I am almost... I mean, with a name like Utter Fudge, I don't think you're a bot. But, I mean, the type of message you sent sort of makes you seem like you're a bot. So... who knows? I'm going to do you the honor and pretend you're not a bot. Sorry, I'm keeping quiet. Jesus Christ, I just... yeah, I am so close to being done. And I'm just trying to power through. Not fall asleep. Oh, there's a big one. Oh, does this not use it? Yeah, oh, it does use it, okay. Controller. Rigid body. Like I said, I think the game manager should have a continuous reference to the player. So I'll probably do that in a bit. Oh fuck, let me write that down on the whiteboard. Whiteboard, quick. Sorry, give me a minute. P manager ref of play. Yeah. P manager ref of player. Oh wow, that's God. I'm saying it for the third time. They say low odor. They're fucking false. Right. 6. Easy. And finally this. Oh. Aha! This is where we're at. Right, so the target is... Oh, God. So it takes in an eye damageable. Oh, bollocks. I made an enemy and now I might have to change it to a... I don't just want to cast the type from my damageable to enemy, but I might have to. I don't want to cast. If I go. Oh. Bloody hell. Children are drying. That is what I was going to type. That's what I did type. Bloody hell, change it, please, children. Cool, that'll get my attention later down the line. There we go. Right. Okay. We're casting it. That's fine. It should work. Where's his here? So we want to, if we go to melee attack trigger, no, what we're going for? We're going to ability attack. There we go. Oh, we don't want to do. This should be not copied, but we're copying it for now just to know that it works. Oh, then object. Oh, I want to kill myself. Okay, right. Weapon condition. condition, 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 condition. Oh, sorry. Can we please just get through this? What is the object? What is the object? Oh, it's just the yeah, it is just the target again. What am I looking for? Oh bollocks! Yeah, I can't start coroutines in here. Fuck sake! I need to do it within somewhere. Right. You know what? I'm tired. I've sort of had enough. Let's go full screen. Let's reach 3 hours and then... Can I move? There we go. Let's reach 3 hours, then... Then we'll raid. He says, trying to Google / and the channel we're gonna raid is, let's do a new one. Let's go search on Twitch. That's what we'll do for the last minute. Go on Twitch. Let's go into browse, software and game development. Do we do Prime? I don't know who's doing something cool. Do we do Prime? Oh, they're doing. Is that? Yeah, that's Unity. Anyone cool? Anyone cool? Wow, I'm a dick. Oh god, yeah, I'm not with it. Yeah, let's do it. Prime Agen. The Prime Agen. So, to everyone who joined, thank you. To everyone still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be back this Friday. No, Thursday. Whoa, my god. I'll be back this Thursday. Maybe with a bit more of this. Probably, I think I'm going to go back to the abilities. I'm actually going to plan probably Wednesday what I'm going to do with them. We're going to start with the Irritating Ant ability. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. I am wrecked. So I'm going to let the music play me out. And then we're going to go from there. So thank you for everyone for joining. We're going to raid on Twitch, Prime Agen. And then we'll see you later. Right. Let's start that raid off. He's not been set to... Fuck! He's been set to not raid. That makes sense. Let's fucking raid someone else then. Who we raiding? Whom? Quickly choose Toby, or someone pick from me. The music's gotten louder because I turned it up. We'll raid. Me, Magatron. That, sure. Is that how you spell it? Yeah, sure. Right. Stuff the raids. Oh my god, she's... Oh, I'm too tired for this. Stop, let me raid you dicks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you dicks. I understand why you didn't. Jeez, that is loud in my ears. God, okay, who was the one doing the Unity stuff? Benny D Creatives. Yeah. There we go. Right. Goodbye. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Bye.